Hey guys and girls, welcome back to Destinations with Sal and Debbie. I'm Sal, Debbie's not with us today, but we have a great video for you with 25 things that you should consider purchasing to bring on your next cruise vacation with you. And I'll be back to show you them right after this. Welcome back everybody, and thanks for staying through the intro. As always, if you're new to our channel, please make sure you click that subscribe button and click the little bell notification. That way YouTube will let you know every time we upload a brand new video. It's totally free for you, and boy does it make a difference for us. So today, we're going to tell you the results of a Facebook post that we put online about a week ago, asking people what their favorite hacks are for things that they bring on a cruise ship to make cruising life a little easier for them. By the way, if you haven't joined our Facebook channels, we do have two great groups for you to join. There is a link to both of them in the description of this video. So we went through that group post and I picked my 25 favorite things that I saw of things, hacks to bring on board that cruise ship that are going to make your cruising life easier. So the first thing we're going to suggest is a small extension cord, because as our frequent cruisers know, cruise cabins can only come with 1 or 2 outlets for the entire cabin. And I'm not talking about double outlets, I'm talking 1 or 2 outlets to power all of your power needs. So first, bring an extension cord so you can move that location to somewhere else in your cabin if you need to. But then also a great power strip. Make sure it has a couple of USB outlets in it so you can power your USB devices. But the key thing is cruise ships, most of them do not allow surge protection. So you want to make sure you pick a power strip that does not have surge protection. Surge protection can really cause havoc with the ship's electrical system, so those are not allowed. Number 2, and this is something that my wife thought of, is either 3M or magnetic hooks to put on the wall of your cabin. Now, if you're going to do the 3M hooks, make sure they're the removable ones where you pull them at the end and it comes off as if there was nothing ever there, because you certainly don't want to damage the walls of the cruise ship. These can be great for hanging towels on, hanging clothes on. If you're going to go take a nap, you can just hang your clothes on them instead of putting them away. Really keeps you from cluttering up the floors of your cabins or the very few dresser spaces on your cabins, and really a necessity in my view. Number 3, and this is a big one. Those of you who have cruised, you may or not already know this. Those of you who haven't cruised, this is definitely a big tip. Soda pops and liquor can be expensive on board a cruise ship, but did you know you can actually bring some of your own from home? I know this applies on Carnival, but it also applies on most of the other cruise lines as well, is you can each bring a 12-pack of canned soda pop on board the cruise with you. This will keep you from having to buy soda pop, which can be expensive, or even buying the soda card, and that's one for everybody that's in your cabin, regardless of their age. Now, you can also bring a bottle of wine or champagne for every adult over the age of 21 that's in your cabin, up to 750 milliliters. You can bring those on board as well. And you can also check the cruise line's website. If you plan on buying hard liquor, you can actually buy bottles of hard liquor delivered to your cabin in advance, which will save you some money. And then if you brought your own soda pop on board, you can make your own mixed drinks. 4, this is an interesting one. This is one that I've actually never done before, but it is a great idea, and that's bring a little bubble wrap with you. That way, if you buy liquor in the foreign ports, or you buy things that are breakable to bring home, you'll already have bubble wrap to put those in, especially if you're going to fly home where, let's face it, they don't treat your bags with the best of kindness. You have things bubble wrapped to protect your take-homes. Number 5 is make sure you bring all your toiletries that you're going to need and any over-the-counter medications that you may need. Because while most destinations, even not only cruise ship destinations, sell these, you're going to pay 3, 4, 5, sometimes even up to 10 times as much as if you just went to Walmart and brought them yourself. So think about some of the things you may need for a cruise, like an antacid or things of those natures, and bring them on board with you. You're going to save a lot of money. Number 6, if you're like me and my wife, you like to get on board and unpack all of your bags and really feel at home for the week, but then you open your cabinet doors and find out there's only 4 or 5 hangers in there. I recommend going to the store and buying a pack or 2 of wired hangers. Why wired? They take up very little bit of room with your luggage. They're extremely inexpensive. And at the end of the cruise, you can just throw them away if you want, if you're right at that weight limit for your airlines. But you'll be glad you brought those extra hangers. You can ask your stateroom steward for some, but even then, you're probably not going to get as many as you need. So bring them on board yourself. Number 7, and this is a new one, most of the cruise lines have done away with straws because they're bad for the environment, or they've gone to paper straws, which, let's face it, a lot of people absolutely hate. So go to your favorite store, buy some either metal reusable straws, which is what I suggest, or even just a pack of regular straws to bring on board with you if you like drinking your sodas and other drinks with a straw. Number 8, this is kind of a new one with the new cruise ships, is that you can't just turn your cruise ship lights on in your cabin or your air conditioner or heat set to a specific temperature and just leave them the way you want, because when you leave the cabin, they will automatically turn off. There's a little slot at the entrance to your cabin where you're supposed to take your sign card for your cruise line, put it in that slot while you're in the cabin, and then when you leave, you're going to take that with you because it's also your door key to get back. And when you take it out, it will automatically turn off the lights after a couple minutes and automatically turn off your temperature controls or lower them or raise them to a value that the cruise lines feel is going to save them a little bit of money. Well, if you're like me and you like those things to stay on for the cabin to be just the way you left it when you get back, bring some type of extra card. It can be any type of card. It's got to be the same size as, let's say, a credit card, where you can just go there on your first day, put that in a door, and leave it until the end of the cruise. Just don't forget at the end of the cruise to grab it, or make sure it's something that you don't care about, because they are very easy to leave behind. Number 9, this is something that everybody who's traveling with you is going to appreciate that you brought, or you might end up appreciating that you brought it for others, and that's some potpourri or air freshener for your bathroom. You know, the cruise ship does feed you all day long, every day. Those bathrooms get a lot of use. So the cabins are small, the doors to the bathrooms do stay open a lot of times, so bring that potpourri or air freshener. I'm not going to explain why. I'm sure you can figure it out on your own. Number 10, this is a great idea. I'm surprised I'd never heard of this before the group on Facebook, but before your cruise, about a week beforehand, get a brand new sponge, a kitchen sponge, put some Dawn dishwashing liquid on it, and then leave it sit. Let it completely dry out. Let the liquid Dawn dry into the sponge, and then bring that with you and just bring it into the bathroom on board the cruise ship. And the reason why is when you're in your stateroom bathroom, if you have tumblers or other things that you want to wash out, you can just add a little water to that sponge. It's already got your soap on it for you, and you can wash things out right there in your own stateroom. Number 11, and this is something you'll probably need for your longer cruises, shorter ones maybe not so much, and that is if you run out of clothes, there's only a couple ways to get them cleaned. The first way is to send them out to the cruise line, which will cost you unless you have status with the cruise line that allows you free laundry service. Or you can use the laundry machines that are on board the cruise ship. But if you use their detergent and softener, you are going to pay more for them. So bring a couple of tabs of laundry detergent and fabric softener with you, and you're going to pay much less. Number 12, and I've never really done this either, but it does sound like a great idea for those of you who like to regulate the temperature in the cabin a little better, or you need that white noise at night to help you fall asleep so you don't hear things going on about you outside the cruise ship. Just bring a small oscillating fan with you. Bring one that's rechargeable. That's even better. It'll give you that background noise that a lot of people want and also help regulate the airflow in the cabin. So those are the first 12. We're going to pause just for a moment from one of our brand new sponsors for something that I think is really cool, and I'll be back right after this. I have to tell you, I've never actually heard of Exter until they contacted me a couple of months ago to tell me about their product and offered to ship me a couple of samples. And one of the things they sent me, and they let me pick, to be fair, which one I wanted, is this little wallet, as well as a computer case for my smaller laptop. And I have to tell you, I waited on doing this video for about a month and a half, because I really wasn't sure about this thing when I got it. But I have to tell you, it is really cool. With just a push of a button, your credit cards all pop out and organized in the way that you like them. I do have a big bulky wallet that I've been carrying around forever, and I haven't even been carrying it since I got this little baby. It fits in my pocket perfect. It's extremely convenient, and there are so many styles for you to choose from, and there's even ones that you can track on your phone should you lose your Exter wallet. I can't say how much enough, as a guy, how much this has transformed my life. Ladies, you know what a new purse will do for you, especially one that's designed just for you. Well, this feels like it was designed just for me. And as a guy, it's really transformed everything that I keep on me. So I can't tell you how much enough. There is a link to our store, which will support our channel and give you a 20% discount site-wide in the description of this video. Okay, so we're counting those 25 things that you might want to consider bringing on your cruise vacation with you. We are at number 13, and that is a small, preferably rechargeable alarm clock. You're going to find that most cruise lines don't have an alarm clock in your stateroom, so it's up to you to keep track of the time. You can either use your phone for that, or most people, a lot of people would prefer just a small alarm clock. It makes it real easy so you don't have to look at your phone every 5 minutes. And then if you want to take a nap during the day, or you want to get up at a specific time in the morning for breakfast, you have an alarm clock right there in the cabin with you. Number 14, and again, this is something that I've never done, but bring a couple of bungee cords with you. They can be used to hold the door to your balcony open, giving you a fresh breeze throughout your cabin. Just keep in mind, when you have those doors open on most cruise lines, it will automatically turn off the temperature control system in the cabin in order to save the cruise lines a little bit of money and resources of having to heat or air condition a cabin that's got its door wide open to the balcony. Number 15 is either packing cubes or, more importantly, an extra suitcase to bring items home that you hadn't planned for that you might have purchased in port. If you're like me and Debbie, you run out of space constantly in the luggage that you brought on board and you end up having to buy a new bag coming home. What we do is we take our luggage, we take whatever the largest one we're packing is, and put that inside of another one for the way down. That way it only takes one luggage space, but we'll actually have an extra bag for the way home. That way when you're coming home and you have all those extra things that you bought out in port or on board the cruise ship in the shops, you have that extra luggage space without having to go out and buy an extra bag. Number 16, this is a great one. I'm surprised this is one we've never done, is bring a couple of Tupperwares with you. That way, when you're at the buffet, if you want to bring some things home and put them in the refrigerator inside of your stateroom, you have some Tupperware to put it in. Otherwise, you're just going to be able to have to put it in an open plate, and then your food's not going to stay fresh as long. Or a lot of people will want to bring home some of their meal from the main dining room, or even a dessert from the main dining room, and if you have a Tupperware, it'll just make it much fresher for you. Most staterooms nowadays on modern cruise ships do have refrigerators in them, but here's a secret for you, especially if you have like diabetes where you need to put medication in there, or something else that you need medication, is even the older cruise ships that don't have refrigerators will put a refrigerator in your room available upon request, but do make sure you request it early because they do run out of these refrigerators. There's not enough to stock every cabin on board the ship. Number 17 is an over-the-door shoe hanger. Now, I realize you're probably not going to bring all of your shoes from home, but the cubbies inside of these things do make great items for just putting things like hairbrushes, hats, pretty much anything that you're going to need on a grab-and-go basis, and it'll be right there on the back of your door, so you can grab it more easily without having to fish through drawers or your cabinets. Number 18, and this is the one I've really never done either, is bring some bed straps with you. Now, on board almost all cruise ships in all of your staterooms are going to be 2 double beds. Very few cruise lines actually have a king-size bed in them. For obvious reasons, if they have people that want beds separated, you can always put them together, but you can't take them apart if it's a king-size bed. Now, Carnival and most of the other big cruise lines, you'll go on their website prior to checking in for your cruise, and you'll let your steward know how you want those beds to be handled. Now, they will push the beds together if you want a king-size bed, and they even put a mattress top over it. I've never fell between the cracks. I know Debbie has never fell between the cracks, but other people tell me that they have. And they bring bed straps on board to strap the beds together. That way they never separate during your cruise. Number 19, this is a new one, but it's a great idea. Something new available on the market is liquid hydration. Basically turns a bottle of water into a bottle of Gatorade. They taste great. They add the electrolytes that you're going to want on board your cruise ship. And since you can't bring bottles of Gatorade on board any longer because Carnival and most of the cruise lines have gotten away from letting you bring bottles on board because too many people were hiding alcoholic beverages in them, that now you can actually take these liquid hydration packs, put them in a bottle of water, and stay super hydrated, especially in places like the Caribbean where it's hot and you need that extra hydration. Number 20, this is a simple one, especially if you have an inside cabin. Those cabins can become completely pitch black at night where you can't see anything. Is just bring a small night light with you that you can plug into the wall and have that borderline light that you can have at night that won't keep you awake, but it's enough to be able to see you to get into the bathroom without tripping over anything and hurting yourself. Number 22, and this really should have went when I talked about the power strips, but bring a USB tower to turn from one USB charging station into 5 or 6 of them. Most of the devices we have today are powered and charged by USB and not by a wall outlet. So if you bring a USB tower, you can charge them all with one piece without having to buy a bunch of different cube converters. Makes a real difference. I know I have a lot of USB devices, and this I bring on every cruise, and it really saves me when it comes to my charging needs. Number 23, you know, if you've cruised before, you've walked by other people's staterooms and you see they've decorated their doors. It's become really popular on cruise lines, not just on Carnival, on all the cruise lines. If you're new to cruising, you can decorate your door in anything that you want, as long as you know it's PG and family friendly. Most of the time it has to do with cruising and you, of course. So bring those items with you, have them well prepared in advance. That way you don't have to cut things out and do all that in advance. Have it prepared, bring it with you in a small separate bag, and decorate that door on your first day of the cruise. Number 24, and we kind of talked about this when we talked about the oscillated fan, but sometimes cruise line cabins can get noisy, especially at night if your cabin is over top of a show lounge or there's a lot of kids running outside the hall. There's a lot of reasons noise can get into your cabin, so you may want to consider bringing some earphones or a white noise generator. White noise generator just puts a baseline noise over your cabin. It's all one sound, so it doesn't really disrupt your sleep or disrupt you, but it will drown out the noise coming from outside your cabin. They're a great idea to bring on board with you. And the last one, number 25, and I gotta be honest, I've never considered this. I've never even seen it done, but somebody in our group showed us some pictures of it, and it does look pretty cool, is bring a hammock to put outside onto your balcony so you can enjoy a hammock. Now, again, I've never seen this done. I'm not really sure even how to hang them. I am going to put a post inside of our Facebook group, so make sure you sign up for that group and you'll see how to hang them. But if you're going to do this, the one thing I implore you is bring a hanging device or a hanging method that is not going to hurt the cruise ship. Nothing that's going to leave any residual effects, nothing that leaves holes in the walls, no permanent double-sided tape or anything like that. It's got to be something that is easily removed by you before you leave the cruise ship, so that in a manner that no one will ever even know it was there. And make sure that you remove all your devices. Don't leave them for your stateroom steward. They are busy enough without having to remove things that you've put on your door or on your wall. So that's it. That's the 25 things that were suggested in our group. Lots of them are great. A lot of them I can see myself doing. There are some, of course, that I can't see myself doing, but I'll take the ones that I like and I will implement them into my travel vacation. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I sure did going through these. Please, again, make sure you hit the subscribe button, click that little bell notification. That way YouTube will let you know every time we've uploaded a brand new video. And if you'd like the latest breaking news when it comes to cruising and travel, or you'd like to know every time we put up a video, send me a text with the word cruise to 305-574-9213. This will add you to our text messaging list. It's totally free and you can unsubscribe at any time. That's it, guys. I'll see you guys real soon on our next video or up on the Lido deck.